Video games have the thesis of this video show that video games can have a positive effect on a person's life. Like as someone who has been playing video games since I was a kid, I feel like I can speak on the effects of video games on people. I've also been interested in learning about the effects of video games on people. The Now, from preview, I will now talk about my many problems that people have with video games. The point of this point is to describe why people feel like video games are a waste of time. And now that I will transition into considering why gaming is a waste of many people's times the world over. Why people consider video games the world over. Main point one. When people consider the video games a waste of time for many reasons, I believe that the reason people consider video games a waste of time boils down to two reasons, and those two reasons are laziness and effect on your brain. Point one, it is not really uncommon for people who play video games to be considered lazy, because often people will see them and sitting in front of a TV and ask why they didn't go outside and play around and get something, along with the old adage of you'll rot your brains out if you just sit there playing video games, which I believe is not true. Subpoint. And people also often believe that playing video games too much can have a negative effect on your brain. Like, for example, the video game Grand Theft Auto, which a lot of people blame for the other reason I also believe is that the big second reason, is that it makes people think it makes them less social and less able to speak to people. The last reason that just like video games is that it makes them more violent. That, for example, video games like not Mass Effect, but Grand Theft Auto series. Transition to now that I have talked about why people do not like video games and think that they cannot place any value, I will now talk about how video games are often been scapegoated. Video games began to be scapegoated all the way back in the year 1999 after the police incident. After the incident, the police began to investigate his room and found a copy of the original the Colombian massacre by two students who used to play Doom, and the media found it and said that that's the reason why people started to massacre people because of Doom, which I don't believe is the reason that's the reason. There was also another incident in which two teenagers shot at a moving car because they thought it'd be funny, and they got the idea from Grand Theft Auto. I just think those kids are wild. Not wild, but doing something extra. And the other reason is that the media themselves always have negative light on video games. Like, for example, but over time the media has started to lighten up on blaming video games for everything. For example, like after the 2018 El Paso shooting, Donald Trump tried to blame games for it, but then the CNN reported their own, saying that not all video games were the reason for why that shooting, and that the shooter had mental problems. And now from this, I'll move on to my fourth point, which will focus on the benefits of how video games and how they can help people. The first benefit that I found when I was doing my research is that it helps to make people more sociable. According to the researchers, a study back in 2006 that concluded that video games help people be more social online. Video games can also be a safe space for people with social disorders like autism. My second sub point goes into how Dr. Mann's video games have the potential to increase cognitive functions like memory and problem solving skills and all that. That video games can also help other people and teach people about culture. So the example that I picked out was that time in Red Dead Redemption 2 when you have to deal with the Native Americans and you find out how they were discriminated by the white people at the time, not the settlers at the time, and how their lives were changed. And I didn't know that at first, but after playing that, I got to research and learn more about that. And in conclusion, according to another study that I found on Spring Linker, video games can also help older adults with their physical body. The study has shown that 10 older females who played that have increased their motor skills. So, and in conclusion, today I have given you my opinion on how the way people are affected by video games and how the media treated video games as a scapegoat, and how video games can have a positive effect on a person. And remember, video games have the ability to teach and enrich us and shape our perspective and grow as people. Thank you for listening to me.